Okay, so I thought, hello. I thought it'd be a good idea to read out my original plan because I like to write things down. I mean, I would show you some of my other ideas, but in my bout of sad and upsetness, I tore plans A through C up because I was really annoyed. And I didn't write down the other two. Can you tell me who you are? To me?
Oh. My name is Grace. I'm Tatenda's mother.
Perfect. And then I bring things home like this giant camera.
Wow.
What do you think?
I just feel like I'm in behind ITV studio.
Yeah.
uh,
Tonight on the 10 o'clock news.
Good morning, Britain.
Good morning, Chris. Oh no, your co-host is Piers Morgan.
I'm Marisol. I am going to say my relation to you.
Yeah, sure.
I'm Tatenda's friend from secondary school. I knew her since we were about 11 and now we're both at uni.
Yeah. What are you doing?
At uni, well, right now I'm making fried rice. At uni I study theoretical physics, which is quite a different film, I guess. A little bit.
In what sense?
Well, I guess there's a lot less of a creative side to it. I mean, you could argue that in labs you have to be a creative thinker, like you have to figure out why isn't this interferometer working, why aren't I finding the data I'm meant to be, and you're sort of meant to think outside the lab script to, I don't know, get the data you need for the lab report. But there's a lot less imagination, I find. I don't know, I'm making it sound really boring. It's a lot more problem-solving based, which I really like.
What do people really think about studying the arts? And that was... I wrote it down on a little sheet before I did my pitch. I even made a pitch video idea with a narration and everything. And it didn't happen. It might one day, but it's not today. Not this time. Situations I found myself in where loads of people were asking themselves the same question, like, why are we doing this? What is the point? Which is basically what my question initially was. And I think I know how to answer that now. And I think we carry on doing this because we all in all love the subject. We all in all love this subject, and there's no way to do it easily. There's never an easy way to just practice it, because as glorified as it is, once it's at its final product, no one really truly knows the hard work and effort that goes on behind the scenes until you're actually practically doing it. It always takes 10 times more than you think it does, even if you know it's hard.
You can't say, oh, your subject that you really enjoy and that you're dedicating your life and your effort into is a waste of time. That's just a bit peak.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you could say to me, like, there's so much physics we don't know yet. Like, I'm doing a module in quantum physics this year, and all I've really learned is that my lecturer doesn't understand what the fuck is going on in quantum physics, and no one really does. And I think it's cool, but it doesn't mean it's a useless thing to study. Like, you do it because it drives you to, and because you love it in its own right. And maybe in studying it, you can help make it better. Make it better for people who come after you. One thing that I don't get is that how you can take something as subjective as arts and grade it at a university level system. Like, for physics it's fine, like, you do problem sheets, there are definite, like, correct answers, you do lab reports and those are assessed, and, like, there's more or less a very clear idea of what's right and wrong. But for the arts, it's like everything you do is subjective. Like, I mean, Tommy Wiseau making The Room, he thought it was the greatest fucking thing anyone had ever done, I'm guessing. But it was absolute shit, and now it's like done a 180. It's so bad that it's good, and people are re-showing them in cinemas like this year. He's doing meet and greets. It's become such a meme that it's, I don't know, popular again. It's in the public eye again.
Do you think there is a factor of luck though?
Say that again.
The
What do you mean?
factor of luck in everything, like in the arts, like just
Yeah,
being in the
yes,
right
well,
place, right time.
probably a tiny bit of that, but I think anyone who works really, really, you know, the hardest can make it.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's loads more I want to.
There's a movie I watched last year for my module, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Like, I'm using every reason to talk about it whenever I can.
What's it called?
It's called Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
I
Have you
watched
seen
it. I watched it.
I absolutely
watched it
love-
under your recommendation. It's so
Did
good.
you? Oh my gosh, yeah, I have told you about it.
Yes.
See, I use every reason to talk about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Oh no, it was so good. There was one scene that just made me bawl so much in that film. It's like he's in the process of going through all his memories and forgetting her. And at first he's like, oh yeah, like this is great, like
Yeah.
show her.
Get rid of all this.
But then he starts remembering all the nice stuff, like the small things he didn't think were important,
Yeah.
and he starts not wanting to forget them. And there's a scene where he's remembering them under the covers together,
Yeah.
and it's shot as if you're from his perspective, like under
Yeah.
the covers, and he's reliving the memory. And at the end, like he's dragging away under the covers. He's like, please let me hold on to this.
Yeah.
And it made me cry
Yeah.
so much because, I don't know, like it was so well shot and like the colour was this dusky orange,
Yeah.
and I was like, I feel like I'm under the covers.
There were even bits of that scene I remember because I watched it again.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's kind of blurred, like, you know, the covers kind of get in the way and everything. And it's just like, this is like what it would be like if you were under a duvet with somebody. Like, you don't quite see everything, but like
it feels
it's there,
warm,
it's
and like it sort of feels
yeah.
like there's not enough fresh air as
Yeah.
well. And like, aside from it being sad and the heart-wrenching way he was like, don't let me forget this, it just made me cry because I was like, oh my god, that moment is so beautifully captured and so accurately represented.
Yeah.
And like, when you think about it, it's really hard to do.
I made a list of things I did learn from this process. I need to handle failure better. I need to learn to be braver. I shouldn't give up too early. Good things can still come from failure. And I obviously love what I do because I've been stressed out by it in every academic sense I've taken this in, and I'm still choosing to do it. I also need to learn how to ask for help, because I need to realize that it's okay to do that.
Not realizing that we fail our kids by pushing them to what we want them to do. So yeah, at work I have initially, when I told one of my colleagues what you wanted to do, her reaction was, what's she gonna do with that? So I said, well, there is a lot. If you actually have not heard about this course before, that is a lot of people's reaction. Say, wow, what are you gonna do with that? I think there's a lot of options.
Yeah.
Yes, even with your writing, people who are millionaires who write books, there's a lot of options. And also, it depends how you take it yourself. It's all about hard work.
It's done now. And they always say the biggest part of things like this is that you've taken something away from it, and I have. Maybe not the best grade, but I have.
Apparently, the Met are giving anybody who's graduated from any fucking film degree, from any degree at all, they'll let you be a training detective. So it doesn't matter whether you've done film or biology or psychology, you can go and be a police detective.